Mauliola, Mauloa mahalo ya oe, ike ola no, eho imahi e kawaii sweet, poke ahone, e la la de mai ika mauliola, mauloa mahalo ya oe, ike ola no, eho imahi he kahea aui ka uhane nui e hui kala no mako nei.
Greetings, I'm Antwan, Executive Director of World Arts West. I'm super excited about launching our Living Traditions video series. We want to thank many of you for supporting World Arts West over the years. If you like what you see today, please go to worldartswest.org to support our programs. Enjoy the episode today.
Hello, my name is Latanya D. Tigner, co-artistic director of the San Francisco Ethnic Dance Festival. We'd like to begin tonight by recognizing that the Bay Area is contemporarily known as Ohlone territory. There are 8 language dialects and many active tribal groups. We acknowledge San Francisco Bay as the territory of the Yamalu Ramatush Ohlone.
Hello, my name is Mahialani Uchiyama, and I am co-artistic director of the San Francisco Ethnic Dance Festival. With Living Traditions, World Arts West aspires to lead our audience on a journey that explores various dance disciplines through a series of online interviews. Our conversations with artists will focus on their art form, its history, and what makes it unique. Each episode will focus on one company practicing a specific tradition. We will discuss how they find a balance between holding tradition and embracing innovation. Additionally, we want to give you the opportunity to ask questions of the artists, as well as to learn a basic dance movement from the tradition they practice.
Thank you, Mahia. Today, we will be interviewing Antwan Davis. Antwan is a multi-percussionist who co-founded the Las Vegas-based performance arts company, Molodi, performed with the Las Vegas and North American production of Stomp, and toured nationally with Step Africa. He is actively performing and teaching workshops and residencies in the U.S. and internationally. Please welcome Antwan Davis.
Hey y'all.
How you doing?
I'm good. That was an awesome introduction. I usually don't get introduced like that often, so it's like, oh yeah, that's totally me.
That is you. That is you. Great. Before we launch into questions, viewers, if you like the program today, please support World Arts West by going to worldartswest.org to make a donation. Also, be sure to post your questions and comments in the chat, and we will get to as many as we can. Okay. All righty. So let's go. Let's go. Let's start at the beginning. How did your journey into stepping and body percussion begin for you?
Okay, it is. Well, actually, I was supposed to play football. When I left high school, I was going to walk on to the college football team. I was in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I just got done playing at Highland High School, and I was going to go to UNM to play football because I felt my natural progression. But I didn't have the grades, and so after the coach was like, "Hey, come back. You can hang out, but you'll play next semester." My friend was like, "Hey, they're having a step team, have a step practice. You and I should go." And so I went to it and fell in love with it and was like, "Oh, this is a whole lot better than having 300-pound linemen trying to crush my kneecaps. This feeds my soul." I met Jason Nias, the artistic director of Molodi, and my best friend and co-creator for the last 20 years.
Great, wonderful.
Wow. Antwan, first of all, I'm just so delighted to be interviewing you and to spend this time with you. I wonder, your group incorporates so many different traditions of the African diaspora that incorporate body percussion. And I wonder if you could share with us a little bit your thoughts about how they all thread together.
Well, yes, Molodi is an experience in body percussion. So real quick. So me and Jason we created Rhythm Cartel, which is a non-Greek step team at the University of New Mexico. Later on, our friend Khalid Freeman, a guy I went to high school with, came onto the group, and we changed the dynamic and basically morphed into Molodi. We wanted the idea was to make a company that was a professional company. And we knew that as non-Greek steppers, that we were already in the wrong, and that frat wouldn't recognize us and actually, be kind of dismissive of it. That's the word, dismissive. So we thought, why not see how wrong we can be and push the boundaries of what a step show could be? So we made it non-inclusive, meaning inclusive. And so we added different people of different colors and different percussional backgrounds. A tap dancer, flamenco person, a rapper. And so that was the beginning in Albuquerque. And so as we grew the company, we thought, why not bring on people that are superstars in their genre and have them be who they are in the company. The company's based in stepping. And so when you join us, you're going to learn stepping. We're going to give you the foundations of stepping. We're going to give you history. We're going to give you everything you need to be a stepper. But whoever you are a modern contemporary dancer or a hoofer or a drummer. We don't want to not have you do your thing and what makes you strong. We want to allow you to do your thing. So the idea was how far can we push the boundaries of stepping without losing the essence of stepping? And adding body percussion, adding beatboxing and rapping and spoken word. Jason he majored in theater. He has a BA in theater, so we're adding theater. Khaled Freeman is a world-renowned hip hop dancer, and so what he did was add stepping to hip hop. It wasn't just, let me do an 8 count and then add a nutcracker to it. Let me integrate the two ideas. And so those things that helps what makes Molodi. And so then we start to get creative. And so we have a piece, we have a rendition of Feeling Good. And so in that piece we have stepping, we have body percussion, we have beatboxing, singer, cello player, we have djembe and a cajon. I think that's it. I think that's it. And that's um, and I think I really think it makes it makes the experience of Molodi richer. It combines as an African American, as a black man in America, it really adds everything. It's like a gumbo. It's really a good gumbo, what it is. And it's like, well, since we don't have the proper ingredients to make this, why don't we just add everything in and just see what we got? But what's wrapped in Molodi is passion and focus and intensity and caring for it. Like, we don't want to just have you come in as a modern dancer or as a hip hop dancer or as a trickster and just doing flips and not let you know how let you feel how much you love it. Like with this piece right here. So it's combining stepping and body percussion. So there's Angie, Khaled, Jason, and myself. And so we're playing a clave groove. So yeah, little African, West African, and you'll see a little West African. You'll see a stomp style body percussion because Jason, Khaled, and I were all in stomp together. And Jason and I and Khaled also worked in Step Africa together. So the professionalism of those two companies followed us. The experiences that we had in those two companies followed us. And it manifests in this way. It's I'm honored to get to perform my best friends the last 20 years. That's dope. And I love what we do. I tell people that there's only a few people in the world that are combining it like this, and it's right here.
Right.
So yeah.
Good. Now you mentioned the Greeks not accepting. So can you explain who the Greeks are for those in the audience who may not know the origins of stepping in that way?
Okay.
Yes. So we'll leave that.
So the Divine Nine. Okay, so so when I do a step workshop, I always break it down for everyone there going, well, stepping and body percussion are two different forms of body percussion. Body percussion is the umbrella, stepping is a subdivision of body percussion. In body percussion, you have beatboxing, you have singing and whistling. You also have gumboots, and you have other forms of people using their bodies and using instruments on their bodies to make music. Stepping is a subdivision of that. Stepping is an African American dance form created around the turn of the century by young men and young women, fraternities and sororities of the Divine Nine. The Divine Nine is African American Greeks fraternity system, fraternity sorority system, and what you have are these young men and young women who are allowed on the college campuses, but aren't given the fair chance to succeed on a college campus. They're not allowed in the white fraternities, and some of them are even ran off campus and beaten up and all that stuff. So they decided to form a brotherhood and a sisterhood to make sure that we made it through the day. We finished college and take this opportunity that we don't even know we'll be here tomorrow and do what we do with it and do our best with it. I tell people that with stepping, it's the cultural dance of the Greek fraternity system. The way hip hop, the way breaking is the dance of hip hop. And it's been around for the last 100 years. So what you have at the turn of the century are young men, young women going to college, and they're gathering and they're doing poems and singing songs and doing the ring shout to celebrate each other, to celebrate their fraternity, their organization, and then around the 40s and the 50s, the stepping that you see today on stage with the Nutcrackers and the Digs became a prominent dance style.
Okay, that's amazing.
Yes.
I wonder if you could share with us a little bit about what kind of training your members have, what kind of dance training they have, what kind of musical training they have prior to them coming to you.
It is okay. So I want to talk to y'all as if you guys are going to be members of the company. Okay, here we go. So here's what we're gonna do. I am first of all, Phil Jackson said the book. They asked him about coaching, and he said, "I don't teach the guys that play basketball the professional. I let them do what they do, and when it's time, I make a call." So for y'all, I would be like, "Y'all are wonderful dancers. I'm not teaching. I'm not teaching you how to dance. Y'all know how to do this. I will teach you some steps." So the people in the company have a wide range of training. Um, Jason, Jason, the artistic director, he's a gymnast. He was a gymnast and an actor who loves stepping. Khaled Freeman is a black belt in Taekwondo, a football player. Me and him went to high school and played football together. Um, who went to the Young Americans, who toured with Arthur, and so and then we have people like Cami who does West African and hip hop and works with children. Pendu does, oh my God, Pendu. She has her own style called Afro Sexy. It's a burlesque, African and burlesque. It's a whole new thing. And so I want to say it's a deep, it's big and vast, and there's no particular style, there's no particular way of training. But I will say, when you get with us, when you come train with us, there will be an intense focus on the basis of step and our material. And then we will allow. Then there's a moment where we open it up to allow to kind of basically see the chemistry between your art form and our art form. Does that help? Does that
Cool.
help at all?
Yeah.
Can you? So we're gonna dig into some serious history now. So can you talk about the significance of the Stono Rebellion
Okay.
and the impact it had
Oh
on
no.
Stono?
Check
Come
this
on.
out. So when you sent me the question, I was like, oh man. And I called a couple friends and I watched the videos like, oh yeah, Stone no. It was I'm so hype about it because I just watched it. It was like as a black person, it's like look at us thrive and continue showing we have a history of thriving in situations that we weren't supposed to thrive in. So what you have are slaves in a town near the Stono River, which is, if I'm correct, either in or near South Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
They are, it's almost harvest time, which is the hardest time for slaves. They work them day and night. In harvest time, they're working from sun to sundown with only maybe 2-3 hours of sleep. And they created laws. Okay, dig this. They created a law that the white men, slave owners, had to carry their guns to church because it was their only day off on Sunday. So they figured that if there was going to be a rebellion, it was going to be on Sunday. So all the men had to bring their guns to church. Okay. So on a Saturday night, these men and women planned the rebellion. And they took over a gun store. They burned some barns down. They chased some white people off. They killed a few white people. And they took their instruments and they took the people. And when they were going to make their way down to Florida, because in Florida there was a free county. And if you made it to Florida, you were okay. Now they had some miles to go. And so as they're going along, news is spreading amongst other slaves that this is happening. So they are not just, they just liberate themselves, they're liberating other people as they go. So, and I want to say when they were about 20 miles away, basically a day walking from Florida, they ran into a lieutenant. He got his team together and they killed and ran off and captured the slaves. And that was 1739. 1740, they created a law where it took away the drums. It was in the slave code, if I'm correct. I wrote it down. They wrote it down. Basically, taking the drums and instruments away from slaves because they realized that, oh, how were they talking? Oh, they were using the drums to communicate to each other. So what we'll do is take away the drums. We won't have this problem anymore. Now, there were a few more rebellions and a few more revolts, but they know that they had to do some real planning because it took away the drums. Now, the significance of taking away the drums, you have these slaves doing a ring shot, which basically is them in a circle, moving counterclockwise, and it's a religious ceremony. We're celebrating the birth of a child, the death of someone. We're celebrating a birthday. This is what we do in the ring shout. It came from West Africa. It came from the West Indies and West Africa. From West Africa to the West Indies, from the West Indies to America. And so it's definitely it's morphed in that change and that cultural exchange from places to place. And we were allowed to do it on Sundays and mass and them watch. The Juba dance. So in the Juba dance is done. It's a percussive dance form. It's a percussive dance form, but we also use drums. Okay. There's also other dance forms that use the drums that are percussive. And so when they took away those drums, what they did is, so again, thriving in situations that you think you could thrive in. You take away our instruments, but you don't take away our love for the music. So now it goes from the Juba dance to the patent Juba. Because now I'm going to play for you in my body. We're still going to get this ring shouting. We're still going to praise God. We can get it in here. And it goes from the patent Juba to ham bone. And it goes, and so I would tell you that if it was like a family tree of music, I would say the Juba dance is the grandfather to all of this in modern day music. It comes from all of that. So you have the patent Juba now, and you have the ham bone now. And so now we're talking about the minstrel show. And in the minstrel show, they're using ham bone. So you have Irish men who are using blackface, who are doing horrible impressions of black people, who are doing the Irish jig and in the show. But they are allowing they're using absolute black guys to put on blackface to come in the show to ham it up just like them, and they're doing the actual ham bone, and they're doing the ring shout, and that's how they end the show. And I like talking about this. So the end groove, the end music of the ham bone of the section of the music is called the long dog. The long dog is the Bo Diddley groove. And so that's where Bo Diddley gets his groove from. And a lot of his music, lyrically, is in the same song cadence as ham bone, ham bone, ham bone, ham bone, where you been around the world and back again. And so now we're talking about modern day rock and roll. So I mean, those are kind of big jumps. I kind of skipped 100 years in the cakewalk and Jubilee. I skipped a little bit,
Yes.
but when I read that, I remember going to school and like telling the kids like, "Yo, this is connected to this. This is exciting." Kids obviously weren't excited because they were like, I don't know how rock and roll. And I was like, no, that's cool because rock and roll, but to your question,
Yes.
Stono, in Stono, we had a situation where the instruments were taken away from us and we made something out of nothing. And not only made something out of nothing, we created a new dance form. We created several new dance forms. From ham bone and from patent Juba, you have the buck dance. And from the buck dance, you have tap dance. And what's crazy about all of this is that with these slaves, there are also poor white people that are working with these people. May not be treated as bad, but they're seen as the same. And so you have a mix of cultures there, even there, which I think I want to kind of promote to people all over the world. Like when you really think about racism in America, you're like, how could y'all really not like something? It was created by so many people. It's touched, so your thing that you do in your life has been touched by so many. The music and the clothes and the language have been touched by so many people of this hue. I don't know how you don't like this hue, but
Anyway, thank you so
like
much. That's a wonderful explanation and a nice transition. I will add this too. So in addition to us loving and honoring the rhythms, those ancestral rhythms, they couldn't take away the body because they needed the body to do the work. So so we have that instrument left with us. So this would be a nice transition since you started. Can we go into a little dance demo here? Yes. Great. And while Antwan is doing that, getting set up, again, get those questions in if you want to know some answers. And then also, please visit worldartswest.org if you are enjoying the conversation today to make a donation. But get those questions in. We want to hear from you. We want to see what you got going on. Cool. Yes. So I'm ready to get it on. I'm ready to get it going. All right.
Good. Oh. You know what? First thing I want to do, I want to teach y'all a chess groove. I'll do my solo, and then I want you to try it out. 4 parts, super simple. I'm gonna run through really quickly. I taught 5-year-olds this. You got this. If you're watching, you got this. Okay. So it doesn't matter which hand you do. I just need you to do a hand. So we're gonna hit, and we're gonna snap, and then you're gonna clap. That's the first one. All 4 parts end with a clap. Pro tip, part 2 and part 4 are the same part. Part number 1, hit, snap, and then clap, right? Second part, snap, hit, clap. All right, one more time. Snap, hit, clap. All right, third part, a little more complicated. We're gonna go snap, hit, snap, clap. So 7 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. And like I said, part number 4 is just part number 2. Snap, hit, clap. So we're gonna put all 4 parts together, y'all. 1, 2, 3. Try it out. You got hit, snap, clap. Part number 2 is snap, hit, clap. Part number 3, here we go. Snap, hit, snap, clap. All right, doing part number 2. This part number 4, here we go. Snap, hit, clap. All right, so for me, music's my life, so I do it all the time. I'm at the grocery store going. All right. So you're gonna work your way up to it. So let's try it one more time. 1, 2, 3, go. We got hit, snap, clap, snap, hit, and clap, snap, hit, snap, clap, snap, hit, clap. Perfect. So stepping. Based on how you step, people can guess at work, not just guess, but know what fraternity you represent and actually where you learned your stepping from. So the stepping style in Molodi is based in alpha by alpha. But you may see other styles from the sigmas or AKA, but who we are, we're steppers.
Yes. Yes. Well, all right then.
Good. Right.
Yes. That is
So
That
fabulous.
was amazing.
it's
Yes.
so stepping, well actually body percussion in general is good for the body, is good for the soul. It aligns your chakras. The vibration of when I hit my body, it realigns my body. I'm never in a bad mood after I step. And I think I really feel that's a big part of our culture. A lot of coping and finding ways to get over and cope with the horribleness or the situation at hand, and having things be an oral tradition and the music in our bodies helps us. So I really feel that what I do is help. It helps me to share my passion, which then I hope in turn will inspire you to share your passion, and then so on and so forth. And that's how we keep humanity going, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think also we don't play music enough together. That's what I love about stepping. Um, that's what I love about what I do. I get to bring people together and we play music. You don't have to be Black to learn body percussion or stepping. I'll teach it to you because the overall goal is to have us bond over music. And once we bond and form that form, we are now community, which then puts us on the same place, in the same plane. So now a conversation can actually happen as compared to two different individuals trying to come to a common ground. It's like, well, first of all, we're not even looking at the same software.
Mm-hmm.
So let's give them a common ground. And I think two things we humans can agree on is music and dance. I've never heard a person say, I hate music, I hate dance. And so I love what I do because it's instead of it being like, all right, we're having a professional development, we're all learning how to be better people. It's like, how about we just clap on the same beat and stomp on the same beat? And everyone's like, oh, okay. and by
Can
the
do that.
time we're done, everyone's talking and we're a lot closer than we were when we entered the room. And that's because of the music.
Great. Wonderful. We have a question from Umi. What books do you recommend about body percussion and Black American vernacular dance in general?
Ooh, because I've been looking it up, I can give you. First of all, I just want to say, Mr. Keith Terry. I don't know if y'all know who Mr. Keith Terry is. That man is amazing. I've met Keith Terry and did the first Body Music Festival. My first Body Music Festival was in 2011. I came to Oakland, fell in love with Oakland, and then started quietly stalking Oakland. And then I got a job, and now I live here. But Keith Terry and his wonderful, wonderful wife, Evie Layden, they put on the International Body Music Festival. And it's people from all over the world. Molodi has had the pleasure of representing America in Ghana and in Bali and in Paris because of Mr. Keith Terry and Evie Layden. He has like 4-5 books with CDs with it of body percussion, counting, books for kids. He was teacher. He taught at UCLA. Great teacher. So you can start there. That's one book. Hold on. Afro-American folk songs is really good by Henry Edward Cabell. You know what? I'll send you the link. How about that? I'll send you the link. Yeah.
Wonderful. We can post that. Yeah. We can post that.
Okay. That's a good book. I'm reading that right now. Soul Steppers. Hold on, let me get that. Hold on. Because it's a book called Soul Steppers. A woman created. I'm writing it down right now. But yeah, those are the books I read. And then, but I will say it's been a lot easier because I'm a visual learner, super visual learner. Having having the internet at my disposal to look at and read and skim through and then go back and look at some YouTube videos has been the best for me. It has been the best for me. I've loved it so much. But yeah, those are 2 books right there. And once I get my sources together, I will then send y'all the rest of the links to the books.
Great. Cool.
We have a question from Anne. Who'd like to know, where in the Bay Area can one go to see stepping?
A college campus, the Divine Nine, they have step shows throughout the year. You can always check a step show. I just want to say that those wonderful organizations are at their foundation. It's about service for the public, getting kids, getting everyone, basically feeding the needs of the community. And so they have shows and exhibitions throughout the year in the California area. And there are a lot of step teams in the area, youth step in the area, step show. Big money involved, a lot of feelings hurt. But I teach it, and I haven't had a class because of the current climate. But I will be getting back to that. Just if you want to learn. Seeing a show. You can always see Molodi also too. MOLDI. Just check us out.
It's wonderful. Yeah, you're right. There are a lot of youth step teams that have these competitions, have folks coming from out of state participating. But I'm gonna tell you this: when they used to have the Black family picnic up at UC Davis, when I was in high school and junior college, we would go up there all the time to the Black family picnic at UC Davis. And go to the step show and just like what in the world, you know, and just to see, that was when I was first introduced to it as a form, you know, and that culture like that, and then to see all of the other familial stuff that happens around, you know, the frats and the sorors, and then also I was gonna go again this year. Oh my God! Usually before homecoming, right, like, is when they come out. Like really, oh dang it! It's not coming to me. Oh, the Bayou Classic. Any of the classics are gonna have a step show attached to it. So any of the classics between the football rivalries in the South will have a step show attached to it, but that's not around here, understandably. But but it's steeped in the culture. It's steeped in the culture on HBCU campuses. So yeah, do we have any other questions?
I'm here. Sorry. You know what? I want to say my first step show was I was a junior in high school, and Khaled. So in Albuquerque, they have basically an African American Day at the campus. They bring all the BSUs down to the campus, and you do a big old tour, and the African American faculty's all there, and they all pitch basically, come to UNM, please. and they had a couple of the step teams, and there was really only 2 step teams. There was the Ray Steppers in Albuquerque High, which was led by Jason, and the other one was the step team of my high school, Highland High School, and Khaled Freeman was that. So when I saw Khaled step, it was like, oh my God, this is amazing. It was my first time seeing it, and so I want to say a year later, I got opportunity to try it, and it was like, this feels right. And then I got introduced to the culture around it, and loved that. And then got to go on Step Africa, got to grow with Step Africa, which was
Step Africa,
that was amazing. To see the culture close up, to feel the thorny side of not being a great stepper, but then earning. So like So when I was on stage in South Africa when I first started, I was 23. I just started professionally performing. Um, and the company, it was filled at the time, everyone in the company is Greek. Jason got on. He auditioned. He was the first non-Greek. The second non-Greek was me. And so when we were on tour, we're doing shows. Jason looks strong. He looks like a Greek. Antwan don't. So people would come backstage to say hi to us or to them, and would pass me and walk by
Wow.
me because they knew I wasn't, and I was faking the funk. And so so I had to really work on my craft.
Mhm.
And that changed by the end of my tour, my first tour. But it was a little hazing,
Mm.
um, and a crash course in being professional. I'm like, yo, if you're
Mm.
gonna do this, you gotta do this. We can see you not do this. So all of that happened. That got on the stomp, and that changed my life. And so body music has taken me everywhere. Taken me everywhere and it's done everything for me. I love it. This is a solo for the 8x8x8 festival. And I had to create an 8-minute solo. And that was it was fun. It was nerve-wracking because I'm a Libra, so I'm super indecisive. I mean super indecisive. Um, but it worked out. I had to be comfortable with it. I love me. I love samba music. I love bossa nova. I love jazz. And so when I'm stepping and I'm doing solos, it's gonna be heavy and it's gonna be heavy and funky, but also beautiful and
Mm.
jazzy and playing with the music. I love it. Oh, what I didn't do and didn't talk about was the call and response of the music. Okay, I was um so the call and response is as old as time. Um, and how so for Molodi, I think the best thing about Molodi, besides us mixing dances at a high level, is we break the fourth wall and we make the show an experience. So it's not just you come to watch us. No, no, no. You're in the show. This show won't be the same without you. The energy in this room won't be the same without you. And even if you've seen us 2 or 3 times, it's never the same show twice. So so putting the audience up, giving them different pieces of music to play, um, puts you in the show with me. So your music is based on my music, and now we're playing music together, which I
Yeah.
love.
Yeah.
I love that. It's something to take home with you. Because I really believe because in my heart, I'm like, I tell the kids, so when I talk to kids, I really try to empower them. And I tell them all the time that your creativity you have a genius level, of creativity. Your creativity is genius level, and it's better than mine. The difference between me and you is that I've put 8,000 hours of this together, and you are barely on your fourth hour. I was like, but you can do this. This is not hard. I've just put the time and energy and love and focus to it to make it look and feel like this. But who me and you are, we no different. I tell the kids if I put the same hours of Fortnite in that you do, I'd be good too. So imagine putting that same energy into this. You'd be amazing. Um,
Yeah.
and I want people to come to the show, adults, especially adults, to be reminded of the artist in you and put you in a show. And instead of asking you to come on stage and do it, I'm like, well, how about this? How about you do this? And there's another participation we do, and it's a game we call Okay, All Right. When I say okay, you say all right. And so as far as to me, when it comes to music, it's full of codes. It's full of social cues. And if you know it, you know it. If you're from hip hop, you know what ayo. All
Yeah.
right, you know what's coming next. You
Right.
know what throwing your hands in the air, and you know that part. And it's just social cues. You know the way my kids
Right.
don't care.
Right. Right. Right.
And so
Exactly.
it's built. It's naturally built in our music. And same thing in salsa, same thing in African dance. You know it's a break, it's a change. Oh, we're going from here to here.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I love it.
It's
I love it. I'm
wonderful.
like, it's so there. I'm like, people. I tell adults all the time, there's a musician in you. You are an artist. It's just a matter of reigniting that musician in you.
Yes.
He's there.
Yes.
It's there. She's there. You know.
Yes. Thank you so much, Antwan. This is wonderful. And yes, that African tradition, of there is no such thing as an audience. Everyone participates. Everyone holds space one under another. We exchange energy, and that's how we hold each other up. So thank you. Thank you so much. You have been awesome. Thank you. Thank you. I would like to thank the viewers for joining us today and to those who submitted questions. Thank you again, Antwan, for participating in Living Traditions and for sharing your wealth of knowledge, your energy, and your spirit with us today.
Thank you.
If you enjoy the opportunity to visit with cultural treasures as much as we do, please consider a donation to World Arts West following this link. We will be back next week, Tuesday, July 21st at 6:30 p.m. with Academy of Dance Libre, a company which recreates stately and timeless dances of historic Europe and America, including everything from Viennese ball dances to the Charleston. Until then, stay safe, wear a mask, and dance your troubles away.
Yes. Yes.
I Hemeleno Kokolo Hibai. Kapo Iki.